Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. On the Sword Coast, your allies will help with blades and bows and magic as well. Hey, hey, heroes on their way. Fighting forever against overwhelming odds. Fighting together in favor of multiple gods. Idle champions of the forgotten realms. Idle champions, adventure never ends. Idle champions, did you want a man? Idle champions, you will say again. Idle champions. From Waterdeep to Icewind, head out to show, all Shadowfell, hey, hey, together we stay. Walk to the monsters, walk to the boss, walk to the right, it's never a loss, hey, hey, bad guys to slay. Fighting forever against overwhelming odds. Fighting together in favor of multiple gods. Idle champions of the forgotten realms. Idle champions, adventure never ends. Idle champions, did you wanna dance? Idle champions, you will say it again. Idle champions.
Hello, everybody. I'm like, that mic was a little far back. I'm Gaarawarr, and this is Gaarawarr's Guide, the tutorial show. A little different than Gaarawarr's Guide to Everything on L Champions, because that show is a full Q&A, like the entire time. This show is a tutorial show. I spend the first hour talking on a topic that we decide upon ahead of time, and then the second hour we do Q&A. However, you can ask questions about anything about the gameplay and mechanics that you want the entire time, because the wonderful Gabe is with me in the backstage doing production. They just posted in chat as well on the Cena Games account, and they will grab your questions and put them in a document for me that I'm looking at right here, so that I can get to them in the second half of the show. What we ask is that you put, as you see down below, question : in front of your question, so that they know it's for me and not just something you're asking chat, because sometimes conversations happen in chat, and that's totally okay. We're here for it. There are wonderful, knowledgeable players in chat as well that can offer up advice. But if you'd like your question answered directly by me, please put question : in front of it. Yeah. As always, a little bit of a disclaimer, especially since we have lots of new players joining us. I do not work directly for Codename Entertainment. I am not a dev. I'm somebody who makes guides. I've made hundreds of them over the last 6 years, but there's currently over 130 actively updated guides over on the Idle Champions subreddit with my name on them. If you need a guide for something, I've probably got one, and if I don't, I probably know where you can find it. So yeah, today, our topic, Gaarawarr's Guide to Getting Started in Season 4. So this is a bit of a kind of a new player welcome, how to get started kind of situation, but we're blending some season shenaniganry in with it, because honestly, folks, it's never been a better time to start Idle Champions. If you start playing right with the season, season rewards just give you so much good stuff that it really jump starts your play and lets you just fly right through the early game. Pretty fantastic. So we're gonna talk about just some basic things that I think are kind of foundational things that you should probably know. for starting the game, and I'm also going to sprinkle in some season tips, how seasons work, and some tips, and then, yeah. And hopefully, you will just fly right through and really enjoy your time in the game, like the rest of us do. I mean, I've been here almost 6 years. Obviously, I kind of like it a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of what I'm going to reference today, slightly, comes from a guide that I made. It's called Gaarwarr's New Player Reference, aka a guided tour. It's basically a milestone-based kind of walkthrough of the early game that slowly gives you tips as you need to know them. So we'll talk about it. I will reference that a little bit. Somebody can throw... Rough Rider already is on top of it. Threw a link to it in chat. Because there's a command for that. But then, like I said, if you have questions about what I'm talking about, you have questions about other things that you've run into, throw them into chat. I will, I see one in here already from Lord Venom. I will get to it in the second half of the show. All right, so let's dive in. This is sort of the view you might see when you start the game. I say sort of because there's some things on here that wouldn't be there. When you start, you're just going to have, this one adventure node up here at the top. It's the tutorial node. All these campaigns are going to be locked. You won't have access to them. This thing down here, this volcano, isn't going to show up at all. And these patrons, they're not there, right? So and these maps down here, obviously I've unlocked all the things. But this map should seem somewhat familiar when you start out as a new player. This is how the game works through all the campaigns. You're going to have little adventure nodes. They're going to be connected by dotted lines. So as you finish one, a little dotted line will draw itself out to the next. So if for some reason you're super zoomed in and you finish this, but then it doesn't look like there's anything else to go, like there's no new adventure here, what do? Follow the dotted line. Follow the dotted line. This happens a lot. People will get Escort to Waterdeep done, and the dotted line will go down here, but the map won't move, and you just kind of got to scroll down the dotted line and come down here to Waterdeep. So there's your first tip. Follow the dotted line. It seems straightforward, but believe me, over 6 years, I've had to answer that question so many times. So many times. Every map is going to look kind of like this. There will be lots of adventure nodes as you unlock them, and you'll follow a path. There are a lot of campaigns. This is our campaign banner over on the left. Campaigns are basically a collected story, right? If you haven't played Dungeons and Dragons before, you're basically playing through a scripted storyline. A grand tour of the Sword Coast is what is referred to as a permanent campaign. Not that the others are going away. This is why if you hear this, I want you to understand. It's not that the others are going away ever. You're in no rush to do the others. It's that they will permanently be adding content to it. As long as the game continues running, they're going to continue adding storyline to a grand tour of the Sword Coast. So its storyline bounces around a lot because it tells little mini stories and then moves on to the next, and the adventure takes you to different places like Barovia. Go through the mists, battle Strahd von Zarovich, the Underdark. Yeah, that's where this little trailing, disappearing line goes. It's because you go from into the unknown into the Underdark, right? There's even a kind of a choose-your-own path down here. Do you want to go up to the mists of Barovia? Or do you want to go down and deal with Vecna, Lord of Secrets? He's a pain, folks. Maybe don't go that way just yet. I don't know. You'll do it all eventually. But as you go along through this, the stories are always going to change. You're going to get new stuff in the Sword Coast. However, once you get into the rest of these are, if you play D&D, you'll recognize the names. These are campaign books. These are campaign books that Dungeons & Dragons, Wizards of the Coast has released for D&D. And they tell little mini versions of that campaign. Including potentially, try not to get into spoilers, but hey, there might be a little bit. So, Tomb of Annihilation, you start off doing some adventures here, and then you have to go to Chult. And if you click on the little arrow down here, it swaps your map. Suddenly you're in Chult, doing Chult stuff, right? Waterdeep Dragon Heist. It takes you to Waterdeep, but guess what? It takes you below Waterdeep too, into Undermountain in the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. So there's stuff that goes on here, and all of these Baldur's Gate. Hey, want to go to hell? We'll send you there. Icewind Dale, straight out of the heat, right into the cold. Up here, where Brunner Battlehammer's clan originally was situated before they went on the fabled trek to Mithril Hall, found it, and then later Gauntlgrim. The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. You'll start out in the regular Sword Coast, and then you'll be in Prismeer, following the Witchlight Carnival stuff. And then the Light of Zerixis is the Spelljammer campaign. It's the newest campaign, which is why it only has like one adventure node out here with a couple adventures. It was just added last fall, so they add content slowly over time on their content release schedule. Some new content, like new adventure / variant content, shows up in the game on average every 3 weeks. And they will flesh out some of this. They'll flesh out older campaigns until they're completely done. Currently, we have 2 completely finished campaigns: Tomb of Annihilation and Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Their stories have been told. They have gone all the way to the last adventure node, and on top of that, they each have 1, 2, 3 variants for every adventure, both Tomb and Waterdeep. And the final one had a massive reward that you can't get in other places. So, you know, once now that those 2 are done, they'll never get new variants ever again. Those are completed campaigns. So when you're looking at the map, know that, you know, Grand Tour is always going to get content. These others will have limited amounts of content that tell their stories. Once the story is done and they've added all the variants, it's on to it. You know, they'll introduce new stuff. They introduce new campaigns every year. There's a new campaign every year. Spoiler alert, it's always whatever the new campaign book is that year. Tomb of Annihilation, Waterdeep Dragon Heist. This is the order these campaigns have released for the last 6 years. Okay, so like the very start of the game had Grand Tour of the Sword Coast, and right after they launched, Tomb of Annihilation came out. Then the next year, then the next year, then the next year, next year, next year, right? So later this year, September, October-ish, usually, somewhere around there. So 3 to 4 months from now, they'll introduce a new campaign. It's usually a big deal. But again, there's only going to be a couple adventures to start. It's just neat to see. So that's how the campaigns work. Over here, you'll see a little button that's time gates. This is pertinent. We are in a natural time gate weekend. Gaarawarr, what the heck does that mean? Well, there are 2 ways that you can acquire, 2 primary methods you can acquire event champions, what we call event champions. One is in events. Shocker. There are champion events that happen generally every 3 weeks. Generally every 3 weeks, a new champion arrives in the game. In fact, God, why am I sweating? Did my air conditioning go out? In fact, Wednesday. As we say this, it is Saturday the 24th, Wednesday the 28th of June. A new champion is coming to the game. Their name is Strongheart. You might know it. They're going to arrive to the game, and with them, they're going to bring 2 returning champions from the 2 prior years. So every 3 weeks, there's a champion event that brings 3 champions for you to get if you're new. If you're established, it's a brand new champion plus 2 returning champions. That's the primary delivery method of new champions. But you can get all of those event champions. We're in event year 6 right now. You can get all of the event champions through time gates. Time gates are a way to go back in time, effectively, to that event, to whenever it happened, unlock that one champion, and get a little bit of gear for them, and then start using them right away. They take time gate pieces. These accrue naturally over time when you're starting. It's 1 every 5 to 6 days. It's got a timer between when they drop, and there's a little bit of RNG to it, but it's pretty much Pretty consistent. So one every 5 to 6 days, but you can get time gate pieces in other ways. I'm going to bring in seasons real quick. In the season reward track, when we get to talking about this, the very first reward is 3 time gate pieces. And then look, there's 3 more here, right? So there's other ways to earn time gate pieces so that you can unlock new champions. But when you have a free time gate weekend, as it says down here, you get to choose one of 3 free time gates to open. That means you don't have to pay any time gate pieces at all. So when you open it up, you'll have 3 options. Your 3 options will look different than my 3 options, most likely. There might be 1 or 2 people statistically out there that have the same 3 that I have, but generally speaking, they're offering you up at least 1 champion you don't own, along with 2 others. I own all the champions, so it's just gave me 3 at random. And any of these ones that says free, you this is what you want to do this weekend. You want to open up one of these 3 time gates, grab yourself a new champion to add to your roster. Now, after that, you can see there are lots of other champions. There's like 118, 19 champions in the game. We're up there, folks. Well over 100 champions in the game. The vast majority of them are arrived in events. The vast majority arrived in events. So time gates are the way that you go back and hand pick any event champion you want. They're all 6 time gate pieces. Every champion in this game is free for you to get if you want. It's just you're going to grab them. They're going to come without any gear. You'll be able to get like up to 3 gold chests with them in that time gate. Maybe a silver or 2, maybe a bit more depending on how far you push. So not a lot of gear, but that's okay, because that's what Electrum chests, like the code down at the bottom, are for. They give you gear for any champion you own. So you can unlock all these champions from time gates. You're going to want to do one of those this weekend. A quick kind of primer on how to make a good decision about time gates. When you're new, don't worry so much. It is good to understand what champions might be good, like it might be meta, and things that you'll want to have eventually. But when you're brand new, the most important thing is to get 2 champions in every one of your bench slots. I'll go into that in a bit. Basically, when you start playing the game, at the bottom you'll get all those pictures. Those are bench slots. Each one starts with Bruenor, then Celeste. That's slot 2. Slot 3 is Nayeli, etc. There are 12 of them, and if you get 2 in every slot, you unlock an adventure called Split the Party, where you can get your first Modron core and a background party to do multiple things at the same time. So looking here on this list and seeing, like, okay, it'll show you little pictures of how many of the other champions that you have in this same bench slot. And you want to choose one that's where you don't have 2 champions already. You want to aim early on with your time gates to get 2 champions in every slot. That's the big deal. After that, you can ask people, hey, which of the champions should I get? Like, if all things were equal with my selection, I'd be getting Gromma. Gromma's a great support, whereas these 2 are DPS, and I've already got DPS. Like, that's how I'd make my decision, because you just use 1 DPS in this game, and then you need a lot of other people to support them. But ultimately, that's what you're going to want to do with time gates. Again, grab your free one this weekend. Also, of note, during the season, these are the 5 season champions. So they're the 5 champions that are focused on this season. They are discounted for the entire season. It's because they're encouraging you to get them, because you're going to need them to earn, like, to do the season quests. We'll talk about those next. So you're going to want to spend those time gate pieces that you're getting from the season rewards to unlock these champions. My recommended order is Caddy Bree, then Wolfgar, then Regis, then Puent, then Artemis. But that's just me. You could pick them out any way you want. As long as you end up picking up all 5 of these. And keep in mind when you're making your choice here, take into account where these are going to fall. I know it's a lot to think about. Just know this: if you end up with 3 in one slot, it's all good. Again, you get these things happen. Natural time gate weekends happen on average every 3 weeks. It's every 3 weeks. I'm saying that a lot. Every 3 weeks. It's because the way the rotation works is champion event. Champion event goes on for 2 weeks. There's no content drop. Second week, third week. So you get champion week, second week nothing, third week you get a content drop on a Wednesday, and on that Friday, natural time gate weekend. Everything cycles usually on a 3-week schedule here. Occasionally they'll speed it up and you'll have an event back to back. Sometimes they'll slow it down and they'll have 2 natural time gate weekends back to back, and it's them trying to fit a 17 event schedule into a 52 week year, because there's always a week left over, right? So yeah, if you started on Epic, you will have gotten all of these for free. Enjoy. Last thing to talk about here for time gates. Let's go over the last thing, since there's one going on right now. It's pertinent. There are these numbers in this box, 50 and 75. This one says 100 and 125. Why is that? These are the area goals that you need to meet to get the first 2 gold chests in a time gate. When you do a time gate, every time you do one, the area goals go up by 50. That's why Rosie is sitting here at 100 and 125. She was the last time gate I did. Whenever you choose somebody other than this person that went up, it'll drop by 25. So, yeah. It's to encourage you not to just grind one champion's time gate over and over. In fact, the best way to do it is to do the rotation of 3. If you're trying to focus that way. But that's more for later on when you're trying to gear them up through time gates. Starting off, you can get every champion up to blue gear just from Electrum chests, and blue is totally fine when you're starting out. Getting them all the way up to epic gear, the purple gear is, or even a legendary gear, the orange. That's mid to late game targets. Okay. So I'm going to open up a Prudence time gate. This is what it looks like. It's going to say, are you sure you want to do this? It's going to give you the level requirements, and it says here, you may only open 1 time gate for free. So it's not that you can unlock all 3 of these this weekend. You get to pick 1. So I'm going to say, yes, this is what your time gate page looks like. It'll give you a current equipment list if you have any. It'll tell you that your time gate's going to close in 72 hours. And gives you a method to close it early. You can hold it to close it early. I'm not going to do that. Then it gives you, if you'll note, the first thing would be if you don't have the champion. The champion will be here. You'll get the champion and a gold chest when you complete Area 50. First adventure. You have to do the first adventure. The next adventure, 75. Then it doesn't say complete area. It says pure hunger. If you hover over it, this is a variant. This is something that would make more sense if you'd done an event first. Every event comes with 3 variants for a champion. This one says you're going to have to complete area 175, and then it tells you what the restrictions are. Variant restrictions make variants far more difficult than regular adventures. You have to read it and understand it because you're going to have to try to beat it to get that gold chest. So usually what I recommend is pushing as far as you can here, not just to 50 and completing. Then as far as you can here to try in this adventure to get to whatever your goal is and past it. Like if it says 175, I'm gonna want to at least get to 200 in this one. If I can't, then I go do a free play, because what I would then be trying to do is get more favor. We'll talk about favor in a minute. Favor is something you earn in all campaigns and in time gates as well, and favor acts as a gold multiplier. It would be up here. However much favor I would have would give me a percentage gold bonus. The gold lets you upgrade your champions. That lets you push further. So you might go here for favor and then come back here. Once you've grabbed all 3 of these gold chests, then just close your time gate. Let's hop into the starting adventure, the Cursed Farmer. So we can talk about more of what you'll be seeing most of the time. These are little marketing promos. They're going to tell you what's going on. Like this is a Defend the Mountain King weekend. They've got a promo going on where there's buffs for these champions. Each of them should be buffed by like 200%. Yeah. So all of these champions are stronger this weekend than they would normally be. And there's if you want to pay cash for chests, there's a unique chest that drops gear for these. However, if you signed up for the newsletter, and I hope you did, if you haven't, that's the next thing for you to do. You'll get one of these for free. They give out one of these weekend chests every week for free. In fact, I have mine right here. See? And when you open it, it's going to contain gear for any of those champions that you might own. Like, see, there's Artemis and there's Caddy Bree. And then some other consumables for you. All for free. And you get that by opening the menu and clicking on the newsletter, putting in a valid email address, signing up for the newsletter. It's fantastic. They only ever send you free stuff. Like, if there's an email in your inbox, like a newsletter from them, there's something in there for free. Something's happening for free. But they're going to let you know what's going on up here. Sometimes this is where your event box will be when there's an event going on, and you'll click it and open it up. Otherwise, they're just going to key you in on new things that have arrived in the game through all of these. Okay, so this is the UI you're going to be seeing most of the time, and this is the tutorial dwarf himself, Brunner Battlehammer. Hey, there's a mouse. I'm going to click it. Those are referred to as distractions. Anything that's running along the back of the screen or flying through the air or even poking its head out of a little bush get referred to as distractions. If you click on them, you get rewarded most of the time. Sometimes when it's a bush like this, more enemies will pop out instead of it giving you gold. It happens. It happens. When you start the game... Oh, there was one again. When you start the game, you won't have a lot of favor. In fact, you'll have 0. You might have a little bit after coming out of the tutorial. But the only champion that's going to show up is like Brunner. And then you'll get some gold. And then once you buy with Brunner, you'll have Celeste here. And then once you unlock Celeste, Niali will show up, and then so on and so forth. The appearance of the champions down here, I can see all 12, is based off how much gold you have. Do you have enough gold to put them on the field? I have so much favor I can put anybody out. So that's why we're seeing the entire list. These are your starting 12 champions. These are referred to as your core champions. They're the champions that basically come for free with the game when you start. As you play and as you unlock more champions through events and time gates, and also through something like the newsletter sign up where you get Hitch. Because you get a free champion just for signing up for the newsletter. And there are other champions like that, like Dritz Doerden. You can unlock the famous Ranger just by playing through the game. There are variants where you can unlock him. And then these little swippy swappy buttons show up. That's the technical term. You click on those and you'll see the champions you can swap with in that slot. Yeah. So I have all the champions in the game currently, so these are going to be real full, whereas when you open it, it might have 1. Right? Maybe 2. And yes, my Brunner looks different because I have an outfit on my Brunner. They have a lot of skins in the game for a variety of champions. King Brunner is one that you can earn in this season. But for me, Pirate Brunner is default because 2 of my favorite things are pirates and dwarfs, and if I can combine them, then of course that's what I'm going to go with. Of course that's what I'm going to go with. So basic gameplay is, hey, your champions kill things as you move along and collect gold and items to move the quests that you see up here at the top right forward so you can complete the area. If you're ever confused why you're still on one area, even though you're killing stuff, look at the top right. It's going to explain what you need. Like your vultures have begun to appear, feeding on the dead cows and rats. Hopefully the curse can be spread by carrion eaters because there's a storyline that's going on. And you need to collect 25 vulture feathers, right? So that's what we're doing. Pretty straightforward. One of the first things that you'll want to do, as you're killing things, you'll earn gold, but as you kill bosses, you'll pick up gems. The little green gems. They come out of a little brown sack that the boss drops. And you'll want to spin those gems here in the shop. Right here, you go to the gem items. And there'll be silver chests and gold chests, and then lots of familiars and skins and other things. Starting right away, your very first 250 gems, you want to buy the Mage Hand Familiar. You want it right away. You can grab one familiar that way, and then right here in the packs, the little box, there's a packs. Up here at the top left, there will be a pack that's free when you're brand new that's called like the Baby Guinevere pack. And it's the familiar, it's Baby Gwen familiar, and some other stuff. But so that means you can start the game with 2 familiars for free. I think the Epic players got another familiar, so you'll be able to start with 3. But those are the first kind of things you want to pick up from the store. And then with those gems, once you have that Mage Hand familiar, and then your gems are going to be spent on silver chests for a while. They cost 50 gems, but they drop 3 cards. One of those cards is going to be gear for your champions, and you want to gear. You want to buy the silver chest to get your champions some starting gear. And then there's going to be 2 like consumable cards. And that's great because consumables are power. Everything out of chests is power for you. So when you're getting chests, when you're spending your gems early on silver chests, you want to do that as often as you can because you want to gear up all your champions. You want to get your champions from those little black empty boxes up to green gear. Green is uncommon. Common is white. Green is uncommon. As long as you can get everybody, all of those starting champions, and any of those evergreen champions like Hitch and Dritz, up to green first. Either green, they might have a smattering of blue. That's going to then let you transition into gold chests because silver chests will drop white gear, green gear, most often. Very rarely, blue gear. That's the rare gear. But there's no guarantees with silver chests. However, gold chests drop green, blue, and purple. And they guarantee you an upgrade. And what you want, they will either guarantee you an upgrade to green, or they'll guarantee you an upgrade to blue. But because of their cost, because they cost 10 times what a silver chest costs, it is really ideal for you to just try to get to green first with your silvers. And then all of your gold chests will be giving you blue or purple when you open them. It is a much bigger deal because of the cost. So start with your silvers, then go to your golds. Along the way, if you happen to open this up and hey, you've got, let's just say I have 1,000 gems here instead of 1,000,000. Yeah, you've got 1,000 gems. Buy a new familiar. Buy a new familiar. But if you don't have enough gems for a familiar, don't worry about saving up. Just start buying whatever chests you need, because the power is going to let you complete the adventures quicker, which means it's going to let you earn gems faster. Oh, hey, this is a distraction. It's going to start to wobble. There it goes. Boom. See, anything that moves in this background is a distraction you can click on. So that's how you get silver chests. That's how you get gold chests. There's Electrum chests too, and you get those from oops, wrong button, Gaarawarr. By clicking this up here, putting in the code that you see on the screen. You can copy, paste it from chat. Make sure you're including the exclamation points. Now, I know this is normally a 12-character cryptex, but there's a 16-character button down here. You can switch it and make it longer. Okay? Sometimes we make 16-digit codes. Or if you just copy-paste it in and it's 16, it automatically moves it for you. So this is how you get Electrum chests. Electrum chests will drop gear for any champion you own. Regular silver, regular gold only drop for your core and evergreen champions. It says non-event champions. So they are very limited in the gear that they drop. Whereas this will drop gear for everyone. Okay? And it'll drop white, green, and blue. They'll also give you some other things. I'm going to open one of them up so you can see. So here's gear. Here's contracts. All the way up to blues. Here's consumables. Like, these are all consumables. And then they'll give you gems so that you can go buy whatever you want with gems. Electrums are pretty great. You can get codes for it in streams like this. You can get them in podcasts and other streams. There's a collection of them in the official Idle Champions Discord. So discord.gg/idlechampions. Join now. There's a hashtag combinations channel. And it lists off everything. There are 30 to 40 Electrum chests codes given out every week, sometimes more. So you can go there right now. If you haven't been yet, you can go there right now and get 30 to 40 free Electrum chests just by punching in those codes one after the other. Occasionally there are codes for other free things too. So, and they all get collected in that channel. So don't miss out. Definitely do that. Definitely do that. Okay. So there's 2 reasons you're doing adventures. 3. One, complete the adventure. Move on to the next adventure. Duh, right? You can't move forward if you don't complete each adventure in the path. I do want to say you are going to want to stick as much as possible early on just to these top level adventures. This is what I call the storyline. Try to play through the storyline as long as it'll let you avoid variants. Variants are much more difficult versions of the adventure you were on. And in fact, the very first variant is a pain. You want to get enough favor, that's the number up here in the top right, so that all the variants show as green, difficulty easy. If a variant doesn't show as difficulty easy, you shouldn't even be considering trying it yet. The way you get more favor is to go into one of these, like a completed adventure or uncompleted adventure, and just try to go as far as you can. Don't end when it says, like, oh, you've reached Area 50. You've completed the adventure. Complete now or not. Well, don't. Keep pushing. The further you push in an adventure, the more gold you're going to earn. The more gold you earn, the more favor it converts to. The more favor you get, the more gold you earn on the next run. This is the loop of this game. This is the loop of this game. Okay. So, I highly recommend you're going to have to, when you get to Terror in the Dark as a new player, you're going to have to go back and do like 9 of these. No. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to have to do 6. You have to do 6 out of the 9 variants that are shown here. I recommend not doing Are You Chicken? It's real tough. It's a dare, folks. You grew up on playgrounds. I'm sure you did. And somebody's like, are you chicken? Huh? Are you chicken? That was always a bad decision to make, and this is a bad decision to make. Don't do it. Don't do it. So, we're going to do adventures. We're going to push as far as we can. To push as far as we can, we have to build a solid formation. I'm going to transition to seasons right now. Right now, Legends of Mithril Hall season is going on. Again, they're encouraging you to use these champions, to collect and use these champions. If you do, you're going to get extra rewards. So there are quests. I've done a bunch of them, but there are more. There were more here. They're over here now. They involve doing things with these champions. A lot of them do. Some are just generic things, but some are involving these champions. And they reward you with experience. They also reward you with favor, but don't worry about that just yet. They reward you with experience. The experience lets you level up. I'm level 18 currently. And then each level that you're on, you get to collect rewards over here. If you're playing free to play, then this top path is for you. That's what I've been doing. The bottom path is the season pass holders. That's extra stuff that they get. I will be picking up the season pass. I just haven't yet. I've had a busy week. Follow the path, get your rewards. It's lots of good stuff. You can see chests here. You can see item levels. That's power. We see time gate pieces. These symbols are buffs. They can either be for a specific champion or they can just be for all champions. Makes content easier for you. Here's a bunch of gems, right? So the rewards just keep going on. There's a click. Oh, hold on. I'm level 18. This is a skin. This is a skin for click damage. Yay. There's potions, etc. So there's all kinds of good rewards. As you get those champions, you're going to be able to swap to them here. Like there's Puent, right? Over here is Wolfgar. Once you get to their bench slot, you can swap to them and start using them. I highly recommend during this season that you try to build your formations with those season champions. I'm going to make a formation here with starter champions. So you see what kind of a general, so we can talk about general formation building. And you can copy that if you don't have the season champions unlocked yet. Then I'm going to build a formation that uses the season champions. So you can see what that looks like. Okay, first off, though, I'm going to go over here. Since I got that Gaarawarr click damage skin, I've got Swippy Swappy buttons on my click damage. I'm going to switch to Gaarawarr Strike. And now, if I click out here, now it's the cat paw killing things. Or at least swiping at things. I don't have enough damage right now to kill things, but it swipes on things. It's great. I should probably put my familiar out here. Oh, this is the mage hand, by the way. I just have a different skin for it. There. So we can put familiars on the field, and they're gonna attack enemies. If it doesn't kill them, it stuns them. That's why they're kind of like, oh, I don't like it, and they're not able to move forward. That's helpful. Let's load in. So Bruenor is your starting champion. Bruenor buffs everyone in his column. This is a column. Up and down are columns. So Bruenor buffs everyone in his column. So as we level him up, I like to level up using the double up arrows, so that I'm always going to the next actual power upgrade with my gold. As we level him up, you'll get to specializations eventually. Specializations are kind of what they sound like. They make a champion improve, but in a specialized way. So Shield Master increases the effect of his column buff, Rally, by 10% for 10 seconds whenever a champion within 2 slots of Bruenor is attacked. But it stacks up to 25 times. So this means that Bruenor likes to be within 2 slots. If you're going to use this, Bruenor needs to be within 2 slots of of the tank line, which is usually the front column. Okay. But you got to be attacked by a lot of people for it to work, right? Whereas Battle Master just buffs Rally by 100% all the time. So, if you're not getting attacked by things, or your tank falls over before you're attacked by 11 things, then you want to go Battle Master. Because it would take 11 enemies hitting your tank to get a bigger buff over here. I hope that makes sense. Alright, Celeste is up next. Celeste is in a different outfit, but this is Celeste, I swear, I promise. See, there's a regular outfit. Celeste is a healer and a buffer. And she buffs everyone adjacent to her. So adjacencies are the places around, the little formation circles around the person. That's directly adjacent. But also when the game says buffs within 2 adjacent slots or 3 adjacent slots, what that means is direct lines between that are 2 or 3 or whatever the number is away. It can't jump gaps. Sometimes there are formations with holes in them. You can't jump across a gap. You have to be like 1, 2, right? Or 1, 2 away. Okay. So right now, Bruenor would be buffing Celeste. We're going to get some extra damage. But Celeste also heals in the column in front of her. That's the little green number that's coming up above her head, or above Bruenor's head now. So Bruenor can now act like a tank until we get a tank on the field, because Celeste is going to heal him, and Bruenor will also be killing things because Celeste is going to buff him because he's adjacent. And she can specialize into either increasing her damage buff by 100% or allowing her to heal 2 columns ahead. This gives her much more flexibility in placement, and in fact, for this formation in the Sword Coast, we're going to want Life Domain, because this is where we're going to want to put Celeste. We're going to want to put her here, and we're going to want to put Bruenor here for reasons that we're going to get to in a moment. But right now, if I only have 2 champions out, it's because Bruenor's going to tank. Bruenor is not a tank. To be clear, Bruenor is support. The roles tell you what they are. But if I have a choice between tanking with the person that can heal or the person that can't heal, I'm going to tank with the person that can't heal and heal them. I hope that makes sense. All right, slot 3 is Nayeli, and finally, Nene. We get Nene in the party. Nayeli is a tank. Nayeli is a tank. I know she doesn't have a shield. I know it's confusing. Bruenor has a shield and is not a tank. Nayeli doesn't have a shield but is a tank. Look, I didn't make the game. It is what it is. But she is tanking support. So Nayeli is going to come up here. You know, I gotta have it. Is this a skin for Nayeli? No. We need a Nayeli skin. Prismere, Worms, Champion. There we go. There we go. Everybody's got to look their best. Nayeli tanks, but she also buffs. But she only buffs the column directly behind her. So she's going to buff Bruenor from here. She's going to buff Bruenor. Celeste is going to heal Nayeli. See that Nayeli's getting healed all the way in the front. And Celeste is going to buff Bruenor. And Bruenor right now, at 3 champions, is our DPS. Nayeli can specialize. She can specialize into boosting damage or tanking I know this doesn't look like a lot of health, but trust me, she gets more than just this as she continues to upgrade. Oath of Devotion is your tanking specialization. Oath of Vengeance is when she's not tanking, or you just want to hit things hard and then fall over when something hits you. Okay, so we're going to go Oath of Devotion and we're going to tank. Okay, so right now this is kind of, you're going to be pushing forward. This is going to be a little bit of your starting formation. You'll now have a tank. If enemies get to you, Nayeli's going to be able to stop them a hell of a lot better than Bruenor was. The tanks start out with more health than non-tanks. Squishies have, health in the hundreds. Tanks have health in the thousands or 10,000s, and it goes up. But the health of squishies, the health of non-tanks, doesn't go up from leveling. The health of tanks, they will get health upgrades as they go up. That's why you want to pick that tank spec with Nayeli. It's the only way she gets health upgrades. Okay. Next up, Jarlaxle Baneray. Jarlaxle is our DPS champion. Finally, we have somebody who wants to kill things. Everybody else will kill things for a little while. Jarlaxle specializes in it. He's also a gold champion. What does that mean? It means Jarlaxle will help you earn more gold. This is a win-win. Jarlaxle is your starting DPS because Jarlaxle is fantastic early on at not only killing things, but getting you more gold. And early on, because we talked about, the more gold you get, the more, during a run, the more favor you get when you end the run, and thus the more gold you get on the next run. Jarlaxle helps with that kind of snowball, helps with that loop. Here's my gems. But also, because he's earning you more gold every time you kill an enemy, you can level up your champions more than you normally would be able to. This is key. This is what makes Bruenor or Jarlaxle a great starting DPS. So he specializes into either doing more damage through his Master of Disguise ability, or earning you more gold through Master of Piracy. I know you're probably thinking, well, he's the DPS. We want him to earn more damage, right? This is one of those things where you got to think about the game terms. Doubling the gold you get is better than just doubling your damage. Enemy health scales really quick, but their gold scales with it. So you want to double the gold you're earning with Jarlaxle, because the upgrades, getting more upgrades across your champions is more important than just giving him a one-time boost of 100% damage. Okay, this is the gold for the entire run. So you're going to want to go Master of Piracy. Now all the enemies are going to start dropping more gold, and we're going to be able to upgrade faster, right? So far now we're up to 4 champions in our formation, and they're placed well. Jarlaxle doesn't care where he's placed in the formation. He just wants as many buffs as possible. And now we come to the kind of the foundational part of formation building is this game is designed for you to buff 1 DPS. The other 8 or 9 champions in your formation exist to protect and buff 1 DPS champion. Generally speaking. Are there exceptions to that rule? Yes. The only hard, fast rule in this game is that there's an exception to every rule. So, you build your formation to focus all your buffs on 1 champion. Right now, Nayeli buffs right behind. Guess where Jarlaxle is. Bruenor buffs in the same column. Guess where Jarlaxle is. Celeste buffs adjacent. Guess where Jarlaxle is, right? I am buffing Jarlaxle with every placement of my champions. Okay? Because I have decided Jarlaxle is going to be my primary DPS. So whenever I place another champion, I need to make sure they're buffing Jarlaxle in one way or another. Okay? Next up is Calliope. That's right, it's not Calliope. It's Calliope, like the musical instrument. Calliope is healing support. Now, this is a bit misleading. Calliope does not heal you. This game qualifies temp HP shields as healing, so Calliope is a shielder. So what do shields look like? Let's get a shield out here in a moment. It's going to be a little yellow bar. I'm going to fire off her ultimate to put a shield on everybody. There we go. Now everybody's got this little yellow shield. If I open it up, see, it tells you the value of the shield here in the UI. It's going to be that yellow/golden color. And now enemies, when they attack, they're going to hit the shield first. Calliope reapplies her shield normally every 15 seconds. Or you can apply it just to people within 2 adjacencies. So when I'm doing this little button, you see those green arrows? That's telling you where she'd put her shield. You put her either here or here, she shields everyone. Anywhere in this column, and she'll shield the entire formation, which is great. But then her ultimate will just shield everybody in the formation no matter what. Ultimate abilities are strong. They have specific use case scenarios. Read them. Try them out. They're great. Calliope can specialize. She also buffs the column in front of her. So it doesn't have to be adjacent, just the column in front. And shields normally within 2 adjacencies. So her specializations, she can either buff more, like she can double her buff power, or she can decrease her cooldown on when she's giving everybody a shield by 5 seconds. That takes her from a 15-second reapplication of the shield to a 10-second. It's actually really strong in certain scenarios. If you're having trouble keeping your tank alive, or your tanks alive, and you're using Calliope, you might want to try College of Lore instead of double damage, because you go from shielding 4 times a minute to shielding 6 times a minute. It's a lot more often. I know it only says 5 seconds, but that's how it works out. You're shielding 50% more often than you were before. That might be what gets you through an adventure, okay? I'm just going for the damage right now, though. I'm selfish. So now I've got 5 champions in the formation. They're all buffing correctly. I'm going to move on to Ashara. Ashara can be a DPS or support. She chooses who she's buffing based off her specializations. My DPS is Jarlaxle. Jarlaxle is a drow. Drow are elves. They're dark elves. So it says including drow and eladrin. These are just other names for elves. So I'm going to pick dwarves and elves. And she can do that from wherever she is, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to put her over here, but she just buffs, regardless of where they are in the party. All right. I'm just going to take her up to 100, and we're going to stop. She has another set of specializations that she can buff based off other people, too, and she's got some other stuff. But just know she's going to buff a group of champions. If you want her to be her DPS, you choose the Potpourri specialization. That includes her race. Minsk! More importantly, Boo! Minsk and Boo. Boo's on the shoulder right there. Boo, the miniature giant space hammer. Minsk is DPS support or speed. What we really care about Minsk for right now is the support. Minsk has favored enemies, and you get to choose them in the specialization. So kind of early on, you're just going to have to take a guess at what you've been seeing of enemies. Like, what kind of enemies have you seen, and choose that. Later on, you'll know and you'll know to figure out what you're gonna be dealing with. But Boo is gonna help you via Minsk. Do more damage to whatever your choice is. I'm gonna choose humanoids. Now they're gonna have a little mark on them. It's a little arrow pointing down that says this is a favorite enemy. They're gonna take more damage from the party. And Minsk just does that from anywhere. Now the next slot is Delina. Delina is a pure DPS. Delina is not going to help our party, because Delina has no buffs for anyone because she's not a support. So Delina is not who we want to put in our party. I know this is odd, but they give you a lot of DPS options starting off, and it's for different reasons, so you can have options. But what we're going to want to do instead is, with that newsletter that you signed up for, we're going to want to bring in Hitch. Hitch normally looks like this. This is Mind Flare Hitch, or Mitch, as we like to call him. Hitch will buff the party. He is a support. In fact, he likes to buff high charisma champions. And guess what Jarlaxle is? So Hitch is going to come in and he's going to buff Jarlaxle. You have a choice of throwing more daggers with Hitch or being super charismatic and increasing the buff. For now, we're going to go charismatic. Hitch is going to just buff Jarlaxle. Hitch, Minsk, and Ashara don't care where they are. They're just going to buff based off your choice to anyone in the party that qualifies for their buff. Okay. And then next up, we got Makos. I know some people on the streaming team call him Macos, but this is not a non-PC operating system. Mako's. Well, Mako like the shark, right? That's the way I do it anyway. Mako is DPS support gold. We're using them for support more than anything here. Their gold find only triggers off them killing stuff. And early on, that's just not worth it. So we want to stick with Jarlaxle to start. And we're going to use Mako's. Mako's can either get you more gold, this is only if they're the DPS, or they're going to buff more. And they buff champions not adjacent to them. So that means we do not want them near Jarlaxle. Okay. This is a solid starting formation for the first 9 slots that you have in the bench slots, right? All of these are your bench slots. If you get to slot 10, you have Tyrell down here. If I were to go slot 10, I would pull Minsk out because Minsk only buffs, remember, only buffs against humanoids. So he wouldn't help us against anyone else. Whereas Tyrell is going to supply a constant buff via Moonbeam. Tyrell can be a tank or a support. Tanking is Wild Shape. We don't need him to tank right now. So we're going to go Moonbeam to support. And he will stand in the back and buff anybody based off Moonbeam. The fewer champions that are adjacent to him, the bigger the buff. That's why we want to put him all the way in the back with only 2 adjacent. This is what I recommend as a solid starting formation for the first 10 slots. Jamila, Jam Jam, down here is a pure DPS. Not going to be helpful for you as a starting player, unfortunately. And Archon the Cruel. The cruel part here in Idle Champions is that he's just really not that great when you're starting off. DPS or tank. And he changes the way you kind of build formations. It's a cruel champion. So right now, this is what I would recommend as core champions starting formation. I tend to, when an event comes out, I will make an example formation in my event guides on the subreddit. They're usually out the day the event starts. Events start on Wednesday at noon Pacifically. The event guide is usually out later that day. I will use these champions as a collection of these champions as my examples for your formation. Use it. You can use it as a new player. You can use this as a standard template and then just adjust with any other champions that you think are stronger. Like the current season champions. So this is going to get changed up with the season because the season champions are kind of what you're going to want to use because you're going to get lots of gear for them out of these season chests. These will drop all the way up to epic gear. You're also going to get item levels, and item levels are power. They are multipliers on the cards that give you more power, and they're going to make you super strong with those champions early on. So if we're looking, we're going to want Regis. We're going to want to swap these 5 champions into my formation. Yes, I'm going to put Artemis in my formation, folks. For those who've been around a while, it's about to happen. So I'm going to build a formation with these 5 champions. Okay. I'm going to quickly do something you normally wouldn't do. I'm going to reset my Ashara. I think we're going to be using her. Okay. So, Regis is in slot 2. So we're going to lose Celeste. And we're going to get Regis. Now, Celeste was our healer, if you'll remember. We're losing a little bit of survivability here. Now Regis is healing, support, and gold find. So what we're really going to do is we're going to get a support buff, and we're going to get more gold to upgrade champions. That's great. The healing only happens on a crit when he crits. Now he does have a solid crit chance, and in this formation he will crit a lot. So we will get some healing. It's just not going to look like a lot at first. Now, Regis's specializations buff either in front of or behind him. I'm going to hold off on that until I get Artemis in. Now, here's the problem. To get Artemis in, I have to get rid of our tank. That's not ideal, right? So already I know I'm going to have to change this formation potentially quite a bit. Okay. So I'm gonna move on. I'm not gonna change this formation yet. I'll explain how I'm moving things around once I get all of our champions in here. I'm gonna bring Puent in. The spiky boy himself. Puent buffs non-adjacent champions. But he also likes lots of adjacent champions for reasons. But we're going to buff non-adjacent with Puent. Then we need Caddy Bree. Sorry. Oh, wait. No, it's here we go. They're in Minsk slots. So we're going to have to bring Caddy Bree in for somebody here. We'll swap that out in a minute. And then Tyrell's going away because Tyrell is where Wolfgar is. Okay, now Wolfgar is a tank. Yay. First thing I'm going to do. Wolfgar's going to... First thing I'm going to do. Wolfgar's going to the front. Thanks, game. Wolfgar's going to the front. Wolfgar buffs everyone. He doesn't care where you are. He increases the damage of all champions. So Wolfgar's just going to be the big beefy barbarian in the front. Now I do have Wolfgar in a skin, but that's because, of course I do. I need that mythic skin. There's what Wolfgar normally looks like. Wolfgar is going to buff anywhere in the formation. That's fantastic, because that gives us a lot more freedom to move people around. For instance, I'm going to move Brunner back here to the middle column for reasons. I am going to move Artemis right into the middle of this form. No, I'm going to move him over here. I'm going to move him over here. I'm going to move them over here because I want Puent away from Artemis. Again, for reasons. Makos doesn't work right there. I think what I want to do, I want more buffs. Jarlaxle is no longer the DPS, and all Jarlaxle does for us is kill things and give us more gold. I like more gold, but Jarlaxle's going to go away. I'm going to move Regis up here where Jarlaxle was. Then I'm going to bring Caddy Bree in all the way to the back. I think... Nope, that's not going to work. I'm going to remove Hitch. Bring back in Jarlaxle. I know that's odd. Hitch cannot buff Artemis. Hitch buffs high charisma champions, 14 or higher. Artemis has charisma 13. Just not charismatic enough. So Hitch has to leave. I had removed Jarlaxle already, but then realized, hey, Hitch has got to go. I bring Jarlaxle back in. Okay. So now I have a formation that's a rough formation. I've got a tank. I've got buffers, 2 buffers who don't want to be next to the DPS. That's why Artemis is all the way over here. I've got actually I want to move this again. Do I want to move this again? It's going to be fine enough. Some of the rules for building an Artemis formation are different than building regular formations. Artemis usually wants to buff. Artemis likes to observe things off other DPS champions. In this situation, I've got Ashara, who's a DPS. She's getting Brunner's buff. Makos is a DPS. He's getting Puent's buff and Caddy Bree's buff here. This is gonna be enough. It's gonna be workable. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a workable scenario. This formation could be improved, probably. But this is going to be workable. Caddy Bree is going to buff in front of her. Remember, Ashara is now going to buff. Artemis is a human, so I'm going to switch that buff over to humans. Regis is in front of Artemis, so I'm going to buff behind. And then if I come up here to a next specialization choice, he makes enemies, Regis makes enemies weak to a certain damage type, so we're going to go melee, because Artemis stabby stabs. Puent has a lot going on here. This is one of his things now triggers when non-adjacent champions score critical hits. There's some potential there. This would be for Mithril Hall for dwarves. It's okay. I'm going to go around criticals because critical hits. So this makes it so that there's a 40% increased chance when you hit an enemy that he has made bleed that you're going to crit on them. I want more crits in this scenario for lots of reasons. A lot of these new season champions, their changes make them give you nice stuff off crits. So we're going to go critical wound for Puent. Caddy Bree. There's a lot going on here. There's even a crit chance increase, but what I actually think is the best is Piercing Arrow, because she's going to be able to hit. She does a shot. Her arrow goes through every enemy on the way to whatever she's shooting at, and it can crit all of them. I like this. The other option you could use is Critical Family. But with Artemis as your DPS, I don't think this is worth it. I think this is Piercing Arrow. For Wolfgar, he can increase all champions' critical hit chance by 10%. That's what I'm leaning towards. Flag Bearer is just some extra damage and more consistent damage. And then Morden's Will has to do with Companions of the Hall. And we're not doing that here, so I'm going to go Heavy Blows. Now we come to Artemis himself. Artemis is actually surrounded by a couple DPS, Jarlaxle and Ashara. We could buff them by 10% multiplicatively, or we could pick up off Caddy Bree. I'm going to want 10% multiplicatively, I think. We'll see. Good enough for me. Okay, and then I'm going to push with this formation. This formation is not only going to help, it's going to give me all the things I need. I have a tank in the front. I've got a primary DPS in Artemis who is setting Bud. This is where you look for your damage. Don't look up here. Don't look up here. Don't. Base DPS and running average. Please. I'm telling you this as an experienced player. I know you're new and you like it when the colors, when it gets green here, but this is where you want to look. This is where you want to look. So Artemis is setting Bud. That means he's my highest damage dealer. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. So I've got a tank, I've got a DPS, and I've got everybody else buffing that. More importantly, I have all 5 of the season champions in, which means I'm going to be making good progress on all of these quests, and I'm going to be able to get these rewards real fast. And that's going to just make me do even better. Right? This is what you want. This is a solid starting formation. Again, is it ideal? Not even close. But with starting champions, it's going to be good enough. It's going to be good enough. Okay? Yeah. As you swap out champions, you'll be able to bring in different, obviously, as you get more champions, you'll be able to bring in others that are going to fit this scenario better. But this will get you started. Let me talk about a couple more things before we go into the Q&A. I know we're a little over on the hour. We're fitting in more stuff here than usually I would fit in. Favor. Blessings. Favor goes into blessings. This is part of that loop, gameplay loop. You complete an adventure. You get an amount of favor. Let me show you where you can see how much favor you're getting. Right here, it says I'm getting E25 Torm's favor from this. You spend your favor here in blessings. Now, I did say favor gives you more gold. That is a good thing. But favor can also get you permanent rewards, permanent power upgrades. This is your permanent progress when you're getting, when you're moving through adventures. Okay, this and spending gems on gear, because you have to re-level up your champions every adventure. Your permanent gains are here and in gear. Okay. The first and most important thing, make sure that there is a green check in this box. Warnings enabled. If you spend too much favor, you're going to lose the gold find benefit. You won't be able to go as far as you did on the previous run. But if you have this checkbox enabled, it's perfect. It's perfect. Then you can just buy away at all of you. You can just click the buttons to buy these blessings until a pop-up says and asks you, are you sure? And then you say no. Then you try to buy the next blessing and the next blessing and the next blessing. Okay. But just don't spend when that pop-up comes up. That's the rule. Keep this enabled and you'll always be okay spending favor. It'll be fine. It's one of the best. It's the best setting that they've added to this game. It works so well. It works better than all the others. It is great. So you'll be able to get lots of blessings. Now, on PC, this is how your blessings page is going to look. These 3 on the left are local blessings. So these only apply in the Grand Tour of the Sword Coast. The one on the right in the big box applies everywhere. It says applies to all campaigns. Okay. That's the same for all of these. Now, on some systems like consoles and stuff, I think it's just the fourth. They all look long like this, and it's the fourth one. So just look for the applies to all campaigns. That's your global blessing. This is the one that will work everywhere. So even if I leave Grand Tour of the Sword Coast and go to Tomb of Annihilation, I take double damage with me. Okay. Every campaign has blessings. So every campaign is a place to push, get favor, earn blessings, all kinds of blessings. Some are better than others. You'll figure that out. But get that, because that's the other part of this snowball you're going to do early game with your gold. Gold lets you earn more gold. Thank you, Jarlaxle. You upgrade your champions more. You push further. Further. Yes. In this game, it's not further or farther. It's further. You push further. Oh, that's a deep cut to an old joke. You push further, and then you earn more favor, because the further you push, the more gold you gain. Right? That's the more favor you get. You complete that run, you get a lot of favor. You start the next run, spend that favor on blessings. If you already have a lot of favor, at the end of your run, you could spend on blessings then, but it's really up to you. People have different opinions on that, but I just recommend finishing it, starting a new run, spend the favor you just earned on blessings with that check mark in there to warn you. Earn more on the next run. Continue that loop. Okay? There are a lot of other things that are going to happen in this game. There's a lot. There's a lot going on in this game. I definitely recommend not trying to learn it all at once. I think this is a good place for you to start. So you know how to build a formation. You know what blessings do. You know where to spend your gems. You know how to open chests and what you're getting out of those chests, right? And you know not to do variants unless they show as green. This is how you start the game. This is, I think, these are the best tips for you to start the game, in my opinion. Also, now with this, now you know how to build a season formation so you can start earning those season rewards. Do not treat the season as a grind. If you're building this formation with these champions and you're pushing through and just do regular stuff, you will earn this stuff and level up. It'll be fine. You don't have to focus on these quests. They will complete themselves for the most part. What you want to focus on each day is whatever your dailies are. Make sure you're getting your 3 dailies done each day. Then go back to doing whatever else you're doing. The rest of this will complete itself, because a season lasts for 70 days. You have plenty of time. I say this from experience. I started a new player account at the start of the last season. Didn't try to do any of the new player stuff. Finished almost all of it without even trying. Okay? Just by using the champions. All right. We're going to take a break. I'm going to rest my voice and drink some water. I'm going to hit back the questions. I've got 24 questions already waiting for me. That's fantastic. Thank you, Gabe, and thank you to everybody who's asked questions. Remember, question : in front of your question gets it put in this document so I can get it to it. I'm going to hit up the stuff that's on topic, although I feel like everything's on topic today. There might be some things I leave for the end. We're going to listen to a song from a show that used to be on this channel called Bardic Inspiration, where we made the songs in 2 hours, and they're great. This one is for the leader of the Companions of the Hall. Oh, no, never mind. This one actually is for Caddy Bree. Later on, we're going to hear Dritz. CNE likes to call Dritz the leader of the Companions of the Hall, and I like to tell them that they're wrong, because they are, because it's Bruner. But this is Caddy Bree's song. She's a knockout.
When I first saw her, she was breaking some bones off her hair, and fists making stone, busting heads all on her own. Whoa, whoa. You better run if she's coming for you. Heart seeker always shoots through. Look out, Caddy Bree's coming through. Whoa, whoa, oh. what she's all about. Going on, to make you scream and shout. She's a knockout who just knocked you out. Human born, love and bread. She might just crack your head. Not a mouse, she is red. Oh, oh. From the hall to the brawl, she's a fierce defender of all. When there's danger, she's the call. When there's danger, she's the call. Whoa, whoa. She's a knockout, it's gonna knock you out. She's leaving no doubt, it's gonna sing about. She's going out to make you scream and shout. Knocked you out. Evil rising up, blocking our path. Whoever companions, just feel our wrath. Fire and arrow, and our number. You can run. There's no cover. Yeah, she's knocked out. Gonna knock you out. She's leaving no doubt. That's what she's all about. Going all out. She'll make you scream and shout. She's a knockout. Just knocked you out. Yeah, she's a knockout. Just knocked you out.
Hey, and we're back. Okay, I'm going to dive into the questions here. We got about 40 minutes left. I should be able to do these pretty quickly. Lord Venom asks, do blessings cost a flat favor amount, or are they a permanent negative multiplier? So, they are a flat amount. It is, as you can see, I have a bunch of Torm's favor, and I've spent a specific amount. It will tell me. This is how much you need to spend. 1.10 E24 to get all of these. So it's a one-time negative, and then you can go earn more favor and make up for it. Blessings are just bonuses. They're just a bonus. Shevik Shevik's always on theme. At which point should people get Briv? As soon as possible. Briv is a speed, tanking, healing, support champion in slot 5. They're arguably one of the most overpowered champions in the game. They do everything well. But yeah, if you get an opportunity to pick up Briv, pick up Briv. Honda Hero, you write great guides, I think is what's going on here. Gaar likes writing great guides. Yeah, I like to write guides. Lately, I'm updating guides to make sure they're all accurate for new players, but it takes a while when there's over 130 of them. Yahalig, should I go straight for time gates when they pop? I mean, if you're in an adventure, finish your adventure. The time when a natural time gate weekend starts, you have 72 hours to open your time gate. Then, once you open it, you have 72 hours from that point to finish it. So if you're busy Friday and Saturday and you don't get to open it until Sunday night, you'll still have 3 days to finish it from that point. But if the sooner you get it out of the way, the better, I think. But if you're in the middle of something, finish what you're doing and then go grab it. Solos oftentimes get more than 100% crit rate on Caddy Brie. Is there any advantage to the more crit you have past 100%? Oh, sometimes? I show my 693.8% crit chance. Caddy Bree is the only champion currently in the game that can go above 100% crit chance. And her crit damage goes well over 100 as well. This is a function of Caddy Bree's kit. This is just how Caddy Bree works and how she's always worked. She's always been able to have a high crit chance and high crit damage because she has an item for that. This is her crit chance item in slot 3 and her crit damage item in slot 4. Every time you go, obviously getting to 100% means you crit every time with her, which is fantastic because that triggers bonus stuff. Also, her ultimate lends her crit chance to everyone on whatever enemies the ultimate hits, which is great for bosses. Once you go over 100%, it's a multiplier onto your crit damage, which is itself already a multiplier. We love multipliers on multipliers, so the higher you get, the higher the multiplier, so the higher the damage you're doing. It's a pretty fantastic feature of Caddy Bree. It's one of the reasons I always loved her as a DPS, and it's one of the reasons her ultimate tends to melt things. Try to just use it on bosses if you can, but if you're stuck against a big wave of enemies, you can do it there. It's just it only hits like 6 enemies. Yeah, 6 enemies. Jurathonis, I started a time gate. There's only one variant available, correctly, and no free play. That's not true. The free play is always on the right. Hit the wall at stage 19 with just 1 favor earned. Am I stuck? What to do? I don't know what's going on with yours. You might want to restart your game. New players, here's a great tip. If you ever run into the game acting weird, restart the client. The turn it off and turn it back on again method of customer support is really 99% of the time something goes wrong in this game. Turning it off and turning it back on again tends to fix it. And for that other 1%, you can submit a support ticket. But yeah, if you opened a time gate and there was only one thing available, that's a bug. Most likely turning it off, turning it back on should fix it. If it doesn't, you go down here in the bottom right, there's a question mark. You click it, open a support tab in a new browser and submit a ticket. But only after you've turned it off and turned it back on again. Zelos, where do I find Minotaur skeletons? So one of the seasonal quests is go kill Minotaur skeletons. And here's the thing this time around. If you click on this is a button. Click here to check out the season blog for details of champions, changes, quest tips, and top rewards. If you click on this, it takes you to a blog post about Season 4. And at the bottom of the blog post, it lists off important terms and enemies. The Minotaur skeleton is there, and it tells you where to get it. One of the places is Under Deep Cartography. They're the Area 50 boss on Under Deep Cartography in the Grand Tour of the Sword Coast. So you can get to them very quickly. There are some other places in the game that they occur as well. But it's very easy just to sit on Area 50 and farm the Minotaur to get that quest done. Carethog, as a free-to-play user starting out, should I rush for time gates or save until later? As a new player, if you have... Again, there's a natural time gate weekend right now. Do it first. But when you have time gate pieces, if you can spend them, do so. Adding more champions is adding more power. Event champions tend to be solid, and you're definitely going to want to start off by picking up all 5 of these. But beyond that, after you have these, if you have more time gate pieces, yes, you want to keep picking up champions. Again, I recommend targeting bench slots down here where you don't have a second champion first. The Discord can help you with that. The subreddit can help you with that. Chat right here can help you with that. Just what you want to let people know is which slots you only have one champion in. And then they'll give you the best options that they think for those slots for you to pick up as a new player. Okay. Noverwolf, can you remind me how to use Willie's ability to reduce attack cooldown? It all functions off her adjacency buff. So you just have to have people adjacent to Whittle, and they'll have a chance to get an extra attack. Now, she has an attack speed cooldown as well. Again, it's all functions off of adjacent to Whittle. And then if you want to really boost it so she's, what we call machine gun mode or chainsaw mode, you would put Alindra next to the DPS, with the DPS next to Whittle, and then it's ridiculous. But yeah, just Whittle adjacent to someone triggers everything in Whittle's kit. Anakpe, I started yesterday and finished Morgaine from the time gates, and she looks cool. Okay. Now it turns out she steals 25% of my coins. Yeah, she likes to get paid up front. Yes, she does. Is she still worth using, or did I screw up? So, generally speaking, the champions that take a gold from you give you something in return. And in this case, she gives you a lot of it. She gives you a damage boost. And that's normally going to let you move further than you would have. But yes, Morgaine is one of I guess 3 champions that take your gold. Morgaine, Cathris, and then Dob. Dob takes all of your gold. Like, he just decides every now and then when you complete an adventure to take everything up here, zero it out. He runs off, he dumps it in a lake. Despite that, you want that to happen. Because he buffs you based off that. So, yeah. Generally speaking, you're getting buffs in exchange for that, and it's worth it. Phoenixian Ultimatum. I quit the game approximately 2 years ago. It happens. Just came back last week. Welcome back. I hope you were signed up for the newsletter, and I hope you didn't delete all those emails. If you did, it's all good. But if you didn't, go dig them out, because newsletter codes never expire. And you have 2 years worth of chests to go redeem. Which of the champions from the last 2-ish years? Oh no. Would you recommend going after? Oh no. There's been like 36 champions over the last 2 years. I think if you do the streams, I feel they need to relearn everything. Yeah. Oh gosh. From the last 2 years. We just got BBEG, the big bad evil guy. BBEG, Antreus. Those 2 are huge. Myria. This is just from this year. BBG, Antreus, Myria. Oh man, Virgil is a speed champion. Finn to help speed up your patron progress, your patron challenges. Valentine is a great buffer. Nordum for leveling up your Modron core faster. Desmond for dealing with variants where you have lots of escorts, like those silly chickens. Whittle for speed. Yeah, that's going to be the last couple. That's roughly the last 2 years. That's roughly the last 2 years. That's a lot of champions for you to work on. And then there's going to be some evergreens that came out. Those are easier. Threzen, how do you get all 12 displayed without arrows? Oh, I think what you're talking about is the bench slot. So this is a setting under interface. Narrow bench boxes. So normally this is how the bench boxes look. The big fatty bench boxes, and you got to scroll around to see. This is the default mode. This is how this game was forever and ever. Get these nice fatty bench boxes with these big pictures and these big numbers, and honestly it's so much easier for me to read because I'm old. But if you turn it off, if you turn it down to narrow bench boxes, you can see all 12 at once. People wanted that. I was like, why? But it is okay. It just makes all the numbers smaller. Zelos, is there a way to get golden flute for Artemis without paying for it? Sort of. If you can get an epic golden potion. I don't have one. So it's like this potion of polish, but it says epic golden potion. It'll turn any item that there's a golden for into a golden. If you get one of those by, say, doing a full dismantle on a champion that has a golden, you could transfer it over to Artemis. Otherwise, goldens tend to be cash only. Matinee. I hope the house shenanigans is going okay. I mean, there's another day with power. We'll see what happens. I don't have my picture of the tree to explain that to people. Folks, there's a tree currently on my house. We did not invite it. It fell on our house. And my entire town was without power for most of this week. Just wondering, when you start the game, is it worth saving time gate pieces for the first patron, or should we use them immediately on time gates? Ooh, we should talk about that. So what are some good starting champs to get from time gates? Again, the champions you want to get from time gates are going to be based off which slots you have available. Give that to people. People will then give you some tips. Sometimes there's an option. Do you want a speed champion or do you want a pushing champion? Yeah. But we would need to know. I would need to know which slots you need to, you know. I guess I could go over that in general if we have some time. Hold on. Let's talk about patrons first. So patrons are good. They require some extra effort, but you do want to unlock them as quickly as possible because they have a shop that you can buy a time gate piece from every week. So with up to 4 patrons, that means you can earn an extra 4 time gate pieces a week. This is important, clearly. But like Mert, it costs you 3 time gate pieces and some other stuff just to get access to him as a patron. If you have qualified for Mert requires I think he requires you to have 20 patron or 20 champions or something like that at least. I think it's 20, 30, 40, 50 maybe. If you have access to Mert, you want to unlock him right away. You want to give him 3 time gate pieces. Because then you can you have to earn some influence and you have to earn some ruby coins, but then you can spend 2,500 on them just to buy one of those time gate pieces back. And then every week you'll get one back. So it's a snowball situation. The sooner you unlock these, even though Mert's the only one that costs time gate pieces, but the sooner you'll unlock him, the sooner you can start earning twice as many time gate pieces every week. So yeah, once you have the ability to unlock Mert, spend those time gate pieces on him. Absolutely. And it's a one-time thing. It's just a one-time bribe for him to be your patron. Moose Changer Pat, it's been about a year or two since I last played this game. Welcome back. Major Champions, Companions of the Hall fan. Companions of the Hall. I had an option to do a full dismantle on Regis. Is this something I should consider? No. There seem to be a lot of rewards for doing it. Well, but the thing is what happens when you do a full dismantle, it strips everything off of him and he becomes a champion that just has level 1 epic gear, if that's what you had, and nothing else, which makes Regis super weak. The full dismantle is there primarily because if you didn't like the changes they made to Regis, you could just not use Regis anymore. You just strip him off and use his power somewhere else. The thing is all 5 of these champions got better. So they're the only edge case scenarios if you have a golden somewhere or a shiny somewhere and you want to move it to a different slot on him or to a different person. But generally speaking, no, I don't think full dismantles are needed for this. Aja, is it possible to change masteries? Fish Jarlax's a Master of Disguise but want Master of Piracy. There are 2 ways to do this. One I did earlier. There are these potions of specialization. You loot them randomly. I have a bunch because eventually you're not going to use them ever. Because you'll just know which specializations to choose. But this will let you reset a specialization for any champion that you've chosen one for. You can also buy them from the patron shop. Don't. Oh my God, this is a trap. This is way too much for this. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. The other way is once you have background parties, if you switch over to a background party, I'm gonna demonstrate. This wasn't the intended use of background parties, but when they found out about it, they were like, if I switch to a party and then I come over here and I pull Brunor into this party, put him in my formation, choose a different specialization, but then I come back over here and I'm like, you know what? No, I want Brunor back in this party. I didn't want Brunor over there. I wanted him over here. I can now pull Brunor back in, and I have to level Brunor up again from scratch, but I can choose a specialization again. So there's a workaround if you have your second party open. That requires 2 champions in every slot, and completing the adventure split the party. Otherwise, the potion. Lord Canty, hello, I'm a new player. Welcome. Although I already have a few hours behind me, I want to thank you for all the tutorials and videos. You're welcome. Yeah, there are videos like this one. This is live. But later, this is going to be Memorex over on YouTube. All these tutorials get uploaded over to the YouTube for Idle Champions, Codename Games. And there's Gabe can probably drop a link in chat. You can watch back videos there. Currently working on milestones from your guide. Cool, yeah. The guide milestones tend to be a great way to start off your game. Of all companions, the champions of the season unlocked. Perfect. I want to ask with time gate pieces, should I unlock new champions or maybe use the fact that there's a discount to get more gear for my season champions? I would get new champions. When you're new, people are going to disagree with me on this, but when you're new, I think, yeah, you're going to get these 5, but you're going to get gear for them in the rewards, in the season chests and specific chests. Like if you buy the season pass, there's specific chests. You will get gear for them through the season track, rewards track. Go unlock new champions. Get yourself to split the party as quickly as possible. Absolutely. I don't think you should focus on gear. I personally don't think you should try to gear up, like time gate gear up your champions until you've collected all the champions that you want. Or maybe all the champions. But yeah, time gate pieces are a valuable commodity, especially when you're new. Seeker, as a new player who got the Epic Games bundle with the new season heroes, who should I get with my first time gate? Yeah, this is what I was thinking. Okay, so these are, again, you have Delana here, get Hitch with with the signing up for the newsletter. That would leave us, you need a swap in slot 1 for Brunor. I would go either Deacon for speed or Akira for pushing. I'll let you decide which way you want to do that. I would probably lean towards Deacon. But Deacon or Akira. Slot 4 with Jarlaxle. Oh, hold on. I just remembered we have an event coming up. On Wednesday, you're going to get a slot 6 where Ashara is. You're going to get Sergeant Knox, so you don't have to worry about slot 6. And you're going to get another slot 3. And Strongheart is going to be slot 11 with Jamila. Fantastic. Okay. So, slot 1, Deacon or Akira. I would lean towards Deacon for speed. Slot 4, Sentry or Antreus. I would lean towards Antreus for pushing power here. Slot 6, again, you're going to get Sergeant Knox. So that's going to help you move towards split the party. Again, here you're going to just want to get Hitch from the newsletter. Slot 9, you're going to just want to unlock Dritz Doerden in the campaign. He's unlockable in Sword Coast under Deep Cartography, one of the variants. Slot 11, we're going to get Strongheart, so that leaves us slot 12. Ooh. I would say Miria. In slot 12. So there's a couple places to start with. After that, Briv should be a time gate target real quick. And Krull should be a time gate. Krull and Shandy should also be time gate targets. Krull for pushing and snowballing your favor, and thus your blessing. Shandy for speed. Those two after that. That's probably a good place to start. Badge of Ferret's about to buy the season pass. How do I find your creator code? Oh, if you're on the Epic Game Store, I don't bring this up unless somebody asks, but if you're on the Epic Game Store, you can use my name, Gaarawarr. It's right there below me. It's right there. That is my Epic Games creator code. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't come out of Codename Entertainment's money. It comes from Epic. They slide me a little slice. And that helps me pay for trees on my roof. Rough Rider, how many nice milestone quests do you have completed? Oh, jeez. Yeah. I haven't finished any of them yet, but there's 3 that are about to be done. Which blessings, Rough Rider again, which blessings should you try to get before the event starts on Wednesday? I don't think people can race through blessings. I really don't. The double damage in Sword Coast is good. If you can get Gem Hunter, I think these are the first two. I really think you push far enough in Sword Coast to get the favor for Gem Hunter. It's probably good enough before Wednesday. If somehow you could get all the way down here, start strong before the event starts you off with event tokens, it's nice. But that's a lot. I don't recommend, I really can't recommend that. I would just say double damage, Gem Hunter, hop over to Tomb Annihilation, get their version of double damage, and then Temporary Worship, which gives you more favor in event stuff. I would say that's the easier thing to do if you're going to try to push real hard before the event happens. Does global favor buff time gaze? Well, there's no global favor, but there are global blessings, and yes, they work everywhere, including time gates. Shuquan, so when the pop-up appears, stop changing favor, right? Oh, and the blessings, yes. Once you see the pop-up, just say no to it. That basically says, no, I don't want to spend it. And then go try to buy a different blessing. If all the blessing buttons say no, have a pop-up, then stop. You're good. MGlow, is there any website link where I can check which favorite enemies work from Minsk in the mission I'm doing? There are lists on the wiki. Like there's a wiki, an official wiki, somebody in the Discord, they can get you there. There are also a couple fan sites you can do. They can go to for that. Chinlando, what's for lunch? Probably a burrito. Probably a burrito. Shevik, what would CNE call Dritz if he were a creature? Oh no. Is this that Dritz Doe Urchin thing from chat? I saw that earlier. Fred, have you abandoned any champions yet, or do you still level them all up equally? So once you only level up the champions that are in your formation. So like I pulled Hitch out, I'm not going to level him up. I'll level all the others up. But you only want to put gold. You want to spend gold on a champion that's in your formation. And you don't want to just start spending on a champion. Oh, I'm going to put him in later. No. Don't spend on a champion unless they're actively in your formation. Yeah. Ken Alex, does gold carry over somehow? The reason why I ask is I see you already have a massive amount. No. I have a lot of favor. So when you do a run, the amount of gold you earn is good. That gold then becomes a favor amount that's a reward at the end. So when you complete, I'm going to earn this much favor. On my next run, that favor is a multiplier against each gold drop. So if I was getting 1 gold and then I get a 2,500 favor, now I drop 2,500 gold off that enemy, right? That's the carryover. That's why I have a lot of favor. I have E80, E70 something favor. So I earn an outrageous amount of gold off every enemy compared to a new player. It's just something that's it's going to build up as you play. Zero Shane, what is the exclamation point for over the magnifying glass on the champion's portrait? Sorry if I already covered. Okay, let's see. What? Oh, this. This is just technically you could click here and it would open the champion UI, but you can also just click on their face. I think that's what we're talking about. The mask is going to give you access to their skins, and the Swippy Swappy button lets you change things. If there was something else. Oh, that you have new feats. Okay. As you level up your champions, you will unlock feat slots. You have to get to certain upgrade levels, and there will be an exclamation point that lets you know, hey, you've unlocked a feat slot. Go put a foot in it. Go put a feat in it. The green feats are default. The others are earned in other ways. So you just want to slot feats. Feats are another form of a little bit of bonus power or specialization. Sorry, it took me a second there because I don't have any showing up right now. But it would look like this. Now I have an exclamation point. That's telling me, hey, you have a empty feat slot, and I just have to go put something in that slot, and then the exclamation point goes away. Sorry, that's a feature that was added within the last year. Sometimes I forget. Patricius, thank you for the great guides. You're welcome. If I turn auto progress off and then switch to another party, it looks like the party in the background is still progressing. Is that how it's supposed to work? By default, yes, but there's a setting for that. always auto progress while offline. Just unclick that box if you want to sit on a certain... Like if you want to farm the Minotaur in one party while you do something else, just unclick that. That is why I have that unclicked. When in doubt, check the settings. Wolf, I'm doing the Wolfgar time gate. On the third variant, it says I'm only allowed to use Bruner and Wolfgar. Yeah, that's father and son. Yeah, it's challenging. I'm able to use Dungeon Master. Yeah, Dungeon Master can go anywhere he wants. Anywhere. Even when people are like, you're not supposed to be here. He's like, I'm Dungeon Master. Yeah. And then you can bring in someone with his ability. Yeah, that's not a bug. That's just how Dungeon Master works. So enjoy. You get 4 champions in a variant where you normally would only get 2. Niska's, I hope things are going better there. I mean, it's still the same. They're finally taking the tree away tomorrow. They're scheduled to remove the tree from my house tomorrow. I swear. Folks, there is a tree on my house. You can check yesterday and Thursday and Friday's videos. I showed pictures. I didn't put it into this overlay. There's a 100-foot tree in my backyard that had like 3 sections to it. And one of the sections fell onto the house Saturday night, Sunday morning. From the backyard on, like it wham, broke in half, snapped. It's all the way into the front yard. Still there. We had a horrible storm here with 90 to 100 mile-an-hour winds. It just devastated our whole city. And I think the idea was everyone in town would have their power back by today. I still have a cousin who still doesn't have power. So, yeah. You know, at least we've got power. But that tree's got to come off, and then another section of it fell into the power lines a few days later. Yay. The power company is too busy. Power's on, so it's not a priority. But once they're done getting power on to everybody, then they'll come get that tree out, which means the power will have to go off while they take it out. And then the rest of the tree is now leaning towards our patio and / back of the house. It's going to come down too. We've been on pins and needles because they keep telling us, oh, there's another storm coming, and then it doesn't happen. It's going to come down in the next storm. And we're just hoping it doesn't hit the house. Sword Razor, in your opinion, what is your favorite DPS champion? Ooh. Like specifically DPS. I mean, my favorite isn't going to have anything to do with how strong they are, most likely. Because a lot of people play this game just for fun, and they want to play with the champions they enjoy. And I like to do that as well. So I'm looking through, like, do I have a favorite DPS champion? Probably Black Viper still. Black Viper used to be my favorite champion in the game, simply because of their lore and the way that they got put in the game. Mehen is now my favorite champion in the game because of their lore and how they got put in the game. Black Viper, Farida, those are probably in my top 2 for DPS. Just favorites, most enjoyable. They're not super. Neither of them are super strong in the meta right now, so that's not like go get them and they'll wreck fate. No, they won't. I also have a soft spot in my heart for Grandmother Knight, Rosie Beestinger. She is not strong at all. She's one of the weaker DPS in the game. Yeah, I would say that. I would say those 3 are probably. Caddy Bree right now. Caddy Bree has always been a favorite of mine, and now she's in this season, so I'm going to be using her more in this season. I may use her husband Dritz as well. Spoilers. Madness Skull. How does Nordum speed up the Modron core? So Nordum has an ability called Modron Core Toolbox. I believe that's what it's called. And it gives you, for every level you complete that would normally give you 1 XP, Nordum gives you a little more XP. And it stores up. So if it gives you like a half XP for every level, then you're at 1.5, and then on the next level you would get a whole, and then now you got 2 for that one, and etc. So it gives you more XP to let you level up your core faster. Super Taxi, what do these speed, push, etc. champs mean? So these are different functions of a champion in the game. Some of it is based off their roles, like there's support, there's gold find, there's tanking, there's healing, there's DPS. There's also speed. A speed champion is a champion that outside of damage makes your progress through a level faster. So, for instance, like Briv over here. Hold on, 5. Briv here literally jumps over levels. You complete a level, if he has his speed function available, he will jump the next 1+ or more levels. And you just don't have to do him. Okay? Shandy functions like a speed potion. She literally speeds the entire game up when her speed functionality kicks in. Deacon makes enemies run faster from the right side of the screen to the point where you can kill them. It may not sound like much, but it's a significant speed gain to completing things. Whittle does the same thing. Nahara and BBG reduce the amount of things you have to kill for these or collect for quests, or enemies you have to kill if that's the quest. So there's a lot of different types of effects. They basically make it so that you progress through an adventure faster. Where do I sign up for the extra goodies, i.e. the newsletter? There's Super Taxi as well. Again, it's the hamburger button up here at the top left, the main menu. You can hit escape on PC or otherwise click the menu button. And then just click on newsletter and enter in a valid email address. Every Friday, they'll send out a newsletter with a free code. Other than that, they don't usually send out newsletters at all. If they do an extra one, it's more free stuff. The Lurking Writer. Hello. Who are the nerds and why should newer players not worry about acquiring them early on? Yes, this is good. Nerds. Yes, the candy. They're a champion in the game. This was the first ever big non-D&D non-D&D marketing crossover. The only one we've ever had. Nerds are in the game. They're not great. They're situational. They can be good for Artemis, but generally speaking, they're not great. The thing is you get them out of the gem shop from here. Unlike Jeremy the Baby Tiger, they cost 100,000 gems. Folks, no. Just no. Don't. No. There will be a time when, like me, you will have an inordinate amount of gems, and then you can throw 100,000 of them at nerds. New players, even mid-game players, shouldn't be worried about trying to save up 100,000 gems just to get a single champion who's okay, who's good with one other champion. Don't. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. They are kind of a multi-tool. They do all the roles, and it bases on which nerd is in their little cart. I would love it if they reduced the cost to 1,000 gems like Jeremy. And then I think they'd be a great new player champion swap in slot 1. But they're just not. Don't buy them right now. Later you will have gems to throw around. Do it later. Madness Skull, how to get a user ID and user hash from... okay, we're talking about outside stuff. I'm going to give you the official Codename Entertainment disclaimer. They do not recommend you putting that kind of stuff in external websites. So if external websites ask for like your user ID and hash, understand that's the key to your account. Now, while as far as I know, none of these sites have ever used that maliciously, they can if they have it. So, again, just understand, if you want to do that, you can. It's not going to get explained to you on any official stream. You'll have to talk to people in the community on the subreddit or the Discord. But people like me are going to talk about it because it's not something that's supported. All right. Folks, that's going to be it. That's the end of my stream today. This is the end of the streams for the weekend. Womp womp. Here on the CNE Games channel. However, as long as I still have power, in an hour or so after I eat lunch, I'll be streaming on my channel, twitch.tv/Gaarawarr. You can see it down below, spelled as it sounds. I'm playing that Jedi game right now if you want to come hang out with me and the members of my community. I also, normally, I stream Idle Champions on my account during the week. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know what's going on with this whole tree situation. That's my first priority. I will get back to a regular streaming schedule, but today I'm going to try to stream. You could join me in an hour or so. Streams on this channel, though, will return on Tuesday. Mondays, they're usually dark. So Tuesday, you'll have Mars's Guiding Hand in the morning and then a bunch of other stuff after that. So I will see you then. The song we're going out on is for Dritz Doert, and he's right here. It's The Legend of the Ranger. Have a great weekend, folks.
Child of the underdog, ranger of the dale, many who have known him, proud to tell his tale. His purpose will not waver, shall never bear. Years of pain and struggle, journey to